So I thought at some point I should do a little vlog about riding in high winds, partly because, well, I live in Scotland, one of the windiest countries in Europe, and when I came back to biking after a 10-year layoff, I very quickly declared that actually it wasn't rain that I hated, it was wind. So at the risk of maybe sounding like I'm trying to teach folk to suck eggs, I thought I would share the 3 things that I've learned which have helped me to ride in windy conditions. The first rule is to relax your hands. The reason for this is, as you get more stressed, you're getting more upset by being buffeted by the wind. You will grip the handlebars more tightly. Well, you're gripping the handlebars more tightly, but the wind's buffeting your shoulders. So every little buffet that the wind puts into your shoulders is being input into the bike steering, and it's upsetting it. And that makes the whole bike feel twitchy and unsettled, and it's a really unpleasant feeling. Now, weirdly, the more that you grip the handlebars to try and control the bike, the more you will have this weird effect. So, slack hands is the rule. As slack as you can possibly get them. Okay, rule number 2 for riding in wind. It's not just your hands you need to relax, it's the rest of your body. This will give the bike the freedom to move around, and you'll be a lot happier. Rule number 3, expect the bike will move around. It will. Don't be unsettled by it, it's normal. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is it. So let's have a little chat about counter steering, specifically with regards to wind. If you're riding your bike in a straight line at any significant speed, because of the way the tyres are curved, there's an interesting effect which most people who ride will be very well aware of, the effect of counter steer. If I am riding along here as I am, coming up to a left hand corner, if I push on the left bar, push it very gently forward, this is what happens, the bike tilts ever so slightly in. So I'm not steering left, I'm actually pushing the left hand bar forward as if I was steering right, but the input is very gentle. So how does that apply to wind? Well, if you've got a crosswind, it's going to be pushing the bike to one side or the other, and if you counter steer you can offset that effect. So if the wind was coming into, say it was coming in from the left, I would push very gently on the left handlebar, push it forward very gently. That would tip the bike in towards the left and into the direction of the wind. Now the downside to that is you are leaning the bike into the wind, and wind is a very fickle friend indeed, and it comes in gusts more often than not. So as the wind pressure suddenly increases or decreases, the amount of counter steer you'll require will change, and if you're too quick or too, shall we say, gross in the movements, it'll make the bike extremely twitchy. So you can certainly use counter steer to offset the effect of wind, but use it with care and don't be gung-ho with it. But it does work, certainly better in a steady wind than a very gusty wind. So try it next time you're out in wind. You'll probably find, in actual fact, that this entire chat has been fruitless because you probably already did it subconsciously, even if you were not aware of physically attempting to do it. If you've been riding a bike long enough, I'd argue, to pass your test, you must have been using counter steer by now, whether you are aware of it or not. But anyway, I hope that helps maybe one person. Thank you very much for listening.